Hello again and welcome to another edition of Southern Country. Hi, I'm Herb Suds and welcome to the show. On the show I have DreamWorks recording artist Jessica Andrews. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Welcome to the show, Jessica.
Thank you. Thanks.
Let's talk about the album that's on its way out, Who I Am. The title album, the title cut, of course, is Who I Am. Mm-hmm. What's the album all about?
Well, first of all, I'm really excited about this album. It's been 2 years since I've had a record out, and I really feel like over the past couple of years I've matured, you know, in my personal life and musically. So I think this album has definitely taken the next step up. You know, it's more energetic and more aggressive, and the songs are a little more mature. And I think
the material you chose for this album is more mature than Heart-Shaped World?
Yeah, I think so.
Due to your age?
Yeah, I mean, when I recorded Heart-Shaped World, I was 14 years old.
Okay.
So I had to kind of watch what I sang about, and I didn't want to sing things that were, you know, just unrealistic. So I think that when we started looking for songs for Who I Am, we were able to reach out more, you know, because not that I'm legal or anything now, it's just that I think 14 and 17 is a big difference. It is. I mean, it doesn't make that much of a difference when you're in your 20s, but when you're a teenager, 14 to 17 is definitely a big jump. So we were able to stretch out a little bit more musically. Are
there more songs with emotion in this album than in the Heart-Shaped World album?
I think so. I think I definitely think I was much more confident on this record, and I was able to give it more. And sing more and go for it.
You were more emotional.
Yeah, yes. I think so. I really do. Who I Am,
how's it doing in the charts?
It is doing so great. Who I Am of all my songs, it's doing the best, and it's at number 12 right now on the charts.
CMT? The video.
The video's number 1 on GAC.
There you go.
And it's I'm not sure where it's at on CMT, but it's like 4 weeks in a row most requested video.
Wow.
I know,
I'm so happy
it's
for
flying.
You.
Thank you. I'm so happy too. It's really a great feeling.
Did you write any songs for this album?
I did. I actually co-wrote one of the songs on there called Good Friend to Me, and I co-wrote it with Annie Roboff and Becca Bramlett. Annie has had many hits in Nashville and in other genres of music, and Becca Bramlett is an amazing singer who's sang on tons of records. I mean, it was an honor to get to write with those two females. And
have you ever sang harmony on somebody else's albums?
I haven't. I have never sang harmony on anyone's records. I would love to do that though.
Have you ever heard any of your songs background on any TV show or anything like? Not yet?
Well, yeah. Not Who I Am. Show Me Heaven was on Dawson's Creek.
Okay.
I Will Be There For You was on a show called, what was it called?
That has to be so cool, though.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's really neat to get to watch, you know, a show and hear your song in the background.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
That has to be cool. Yeah, I bet you had to get up and tell all your friends about it.
I did, and actually, I don't know if you remember the movie with Sandra Bullock and Ben Affleck called Forces of Nature.
No, I don't.
It was out last year sometime, but it was so funny because last year when they were doing the Monica Lewinsky, or the 1999 I think it was, when they were doing the Monica Lewinsky interview with Barbara Walters.
Sure.
Right in the commercial break, they played the advertisement for Forces of Nature, and You Go First was playing in the background, and that was the coolest thing. I said, oh my God, there's like millions of people watching this right now. So I was really excited about that.
Heart-Shaped World, we'll go back to your first album. Come out, what, in 1999?
March 23rd of 1999.
There you go. The album is filled with youthful optimism. She is the first to say where her own heart is on her sleeve. That was a quote. Is that from the old bio or the new bio?
That was from the new. Let's see, what it said of, she's the first to say wear her heart on her sleeve.
What's that mean?
That, you know, that kind of, that was actually from the new album because when I was making the second record, I kind of had a little, not really a first love, but it was something, which was, I met someone and we liked each other, but it didn't work out.
Right.
But I guess that's kind of what that means is I'm kind of vulnerable at times.
I think everybody can relate to that. Everybody out there can relate to vulnerability.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess that's what that means, because it gave me a little bit more to sing about on this album.
Unbreakable Heart. How do you relate to that song?
Oh, Unbreakable Heart. That is such an amazing song, and I think that everybody, when they hear it, can relate to it somehow because it's just got such a wonderful message. And, you know, I think everybody knows that God makes everything but unbreakable hearts, and everybody needs to remember that when they're taking out their anger on somebody or hurting somebody.
I think you're right. Prince of Egypt was a big project in Nashville for a lot of artists.
Yes, it was.
And you were part of it?
Yeah, that was such an honor for me. I will never forget the day when I got that call from my manager, and he asked me if I wanted to be a part of the Prince of Egypt soundtrack.
Soundtrack, sure.
Not the movie, but the soundtrack. And I was just elated. I said, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. And he started naming off all the artists that were a part of this, and I was walking a foot off the ground the rest of the day because I couldn't believe I was on there with so many of my influences.
Such as Vince, Reba, Randy,
Faith Hill.
Faith. That song became the first hit off your Heart-Shaped World album.
It did. It did. I think that was a very cool introduction for me as a new artist, was to be a part of the Prince of Egypt. And it created awareness among radio and CMT, so we decided to release that as my first single, and people loved it, and that was a great thing.
And through that Prince of Egypt, you toured with Faith and Trisha. You were introduced to them through that song?
Well, not really through the song. I knew Faith before the Prince of Egypt, but I think all of those things helped me get on the Trisha Yearwood tour because she heard me through the Prince of Egypt and heard my songs after that, and I guess saw my videos, and she was a fan and wanted me to come out and do some shows with her.
How'd you feel about touring Faith and Trisha? And the advice that you learned on that tour?
Oh my gosh, I learned so much from being on the road with them, and they're just, you know, they're great at what they do, and they're great singers, great performers, so I really made sure that I stayed on the side of the stage every night and learned as much as I could from them because they're so, you know, they're great at what they do, and they've been doing it for a long time, and I think everybody can learn from that.
Cake fight.
Cake fight.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was the last night of the Faith tour. We got a little crazy, and there was a big cake in the back. But backstage, there was a cake back. I couldn't think of the word, but there was a big cake backstage, and everybody started kind of picking at it. We didn't want to cut out, didn't want to cut it. It was a beautiful cake with lips on it, for this Kiss tour.
Yeah.
So Faith, is picking at it, and somebody wipes it on her nose, and then so she starts it back, and it just ends up being a huge mess. Huge mess.
One of those memorable moments.
Oh, I'll never forget. I've got pictures from it. Nobody's going to see those pictures.
I was going to ask if you wanted to throw one here.
We look awful because we've got orange juice in our hair and cake all over the place.
Where did that take place?
That was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Okay.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
You coming from a musical family. Always some sing-along going on in your house?
Always, yeah. Anytime my grandmother's family or my mom's family would get together, we would always, not me because I was so young that I really never took a part in the singing, but I just always sat back and listened to my grandmother.
So when did you start the singing with the family?
Well, it's kind of funny because when my 4th grade school talent show came up, I wanted to dance. I wanted to enter the talent show and dance. But my sister heard me sing, actually, and she was the one who went to my parents and told them, I think you need to get her to sing in this talent show because she's got a pretty good voice.
Yeah, pretty good.
So that's how it started. I mean, they heard my voice.
You sang Dolly's song.
I sang Dolly Parton, I Will Always Love You. I actually sang it the Whitney Houston way.
Okay.
But they heard me sing, and I think they were kind of like, this girl has something. We're gonna push her on along here, which I'm so glad they did.
Somebody found you down there, huh?
Absolutely, yeah.
How about your Kodak moment?
Kodak.
With the CD-ROM?
Oh, yeah. Kodak was a part of the You Go First video shoot, and they helped supply some of the film for the video shoot. And so now we're like huge supporters of Kodak. Yeah. And they sent us a Kodak camera, and so we take pictures everywhere. And that's such a important thing is to take a lot of pictures.
Awards. You just won an award for the last year in the 2000.
I did. I won the Top New Female Vocalist Award, which is, yes, I was so happy. That's a moment I will never forget.
The first awards are always the most important ones.
It is. Well, that was my first one ever, my first time to ever perform on a award show.
Wow. Oh,
so I was nervous and excited and everything, I was so exhausted, but it was great.
It had to be one of those moments. Influences, country and non-country.
Influences, man, I have a lot. I love Reba, Winona, Whitney Houston, Elvis Presley, a lot of different influences. I have a lot.
What advice would you give the viewers as far as they want to get into the business? Any advice to anybody?
Oh, there's a lot of advice.
Something.
I think what I would tell everybody is to work, make sure you sing everywhere you can,
Right.
and if you've got places around you locally that will let
Sure.
people get up and sing, which I never wanted to wait till I was older. I wanted to sing right then and now, no matter how old I was. So I would say sing everywhere you can and have fun. That's the most important thing, is to make a lot of memories.
What do you do for relaxation when you're not on stage and singing? And
Sleep.
Sleep.
And I love I love to swim and like jacuzzis and all that stuff. I love that. I think it's great. I've always loved water, and I love the nighttime. I'm not a big day person, or I should say I'm not a morning person.
Okay.
I love the day, but I'm not a morning person. I
great
love being
business
up at
for you.
night.
This is a great business for you then.
I know.
Yeah,
But actually, it's a big shocker because most people don't think that when you're an artist, you always, do your show at night and you sleep in all day. But usually there's a lot of stuff to do during the day that most people don't know about.
Interviews and all on the road and all that. How about embarrassing moments on stage?
Embarrassing moments on stage. Oh, gosh. Probably. I was doing a show in Florida. No, Louisiana. I was doing a show in Louisiana, and this really talented, I think they're gospel singers, opened the show for me, and their names were the Fox Brothers. And my mom, before I was getting ready to go on stage, my mom told me to make sure I mentioned them when I got on stage, and let the audience know that you were listening and you thought they were wonderful. So as I was getting ready to do my last song, I said, I just wanted to say a big thank you to the Cox family for opening the show and doing such a great job. And everybody was kind of like, did I miss that show? And I knew immediately when I said it that I'd said the wrong name.
Yeah, yeah.
So I felt terrible about that. I was so embarrassed.
Well, there's a Cox family.
There is.
I think so. Isn't there?
Well, I'm sure there's. I mean, I should have said the Fox Brothers because they were so great.
Maybe in bluegrass.
Maybe.
How about unusual? What did you ever autograph that was unusual? People have. I'm sure you have autographed a lot of things. Anything unusual other than somebody's cast, leg in a cast or something?
Yeah, I've done that before, but I haven't had anything too unusual, except for some people want me to sign their bodies, like their skin, and I won't do that. I'm like, I'm gonna sign this, and you could get ink poisoning, or it's gonna, it's gonna wash off in a few days. And so I'm never gonna wash it. I'm like, yes, you are.
What's your favorite food?
Favorite food? That's probably macaroni and cheese. I love macaroni and cheese.
Hobbies other than sleeping? What do you do for hobbies?
I love to play golf.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I don't get a chance too much.
To play golf?
I like to. I'm not that good, and I don't get to play it very often, but I do like it. I do enjoy
Leo's
it.
a golfer.
Really?
Yeah. Not in the snow. You don't. It's hard to find the balls in the snow.
Not right now. The weather's not right now.
That's not good for golf. You go first with the Volkswagen, and you were on a roller coaster in that video?
Yeah, You Go First was actually shot on the Santa Monica Pier in Santa Monica, which is, it has this like miniature theme park on it, little baby roller coasters and everything. But the funny thing to this video is we had to make it look as scary and as exciting as possible. So we were riding this roller coaster, just acting like it was the most exciting, scariest ride we've ever been on in our lives, and knowing that it wasn't hardly 10 feet off the ground. And that was funny. And then I got to, exactly. The camera magic.
Yeah.
And I got to drive in the video, and I didn't actually drive. The part where I'm driving the Volkswagen, there's actually a poor guy in the back pushing all of us girls. I felt sorry for him. But I'm telling you, magic of music videos.
That's it. Well, thank you very much for being on Suds and Country. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's good talking to you.
It's been my pleasure.